The Kind of Friends We'll Always Be, written by Rainbow-99. It all started in first grade. That's when we became friends. Well, it didn't always start out that way, I suppose. You would laugh if you were next to me and watching me write. Well, you know the story. It started off in first grade. It was a sad time for the half of the year. I had no friends. A lonely Pegasus was quite pretty, yes. White, with light cyan and light pink wavy mane, a piercing dark blue eyes. I was friendly too, but I never really made a good friendship bond. Then there was this filly. I hated her guts. She was this lime green Pegasus filly with a wind-blown dark blue and light blue hair. She was like Rainbow Dash, another filly in our class. I didn't hate Rainbow. I hated the lime green one. For the silliest of reasons. I hated her guts, but I couldn't stand to be around her. Heh. And then there was this other filly, Kira. She was nice, that gymnastic pony with the really blonde hair and freckles. She invited me to play with her, but that was that lime filly's friend. But I didn't know that until we played together for one recess. What did I think? The horror, the horror! Ew, did I really have to talk with that stupid little filly? I stood through it. I thought it was going to be horrible, but it wasn't all that bad. And then we became friends, and I realized she wasn't too bad. And then by the end of the first grade we were inseparable. That quickly we were besties, and after a month already sharing secrets and playing together all the time. Do you know who that filly was? You, Flametune. Yes, you knew that already. I know. So, you and me became more and more close over the years. By the time we reached the 6th grade, we were very close. I could tell you anything. That cute brown colt with the red mane, I told you I liked him. And, well, great minds think alike, don't they? We both liked him. It was a silly crush, to think about it now, but it was fun all the same. And I opened a whole lot of opportunity for jokes and, well, obsessiveness. Oh, Flametune, you know this. You silly. I remember how our parents would be shocked to look at their phone bills before we got our cell phones. We would talk for hours, and I remember one night we talked for 5 hours straight. It was incredible, the acts we did together. Not to mention that one night we had a pranking party. Jeez, those were some angry neighbors. Of course, at the time we got our cutie marks. I got the dark blue, that matches my eyes, of course, splash of paint and a paintbrush. You got the light blue flames of music note. So, I would draw and you would draw, and you were pretty much as good as me, of course, and we would both sing together. Then we were supposed to do our homework, but we never did. We talked. And about what? Well, it would take a long time to explain, wouldn't it? Because it was everything, from boys to outer space to our futures. Of course, every kind of relationship or connection with other beings has its problems. Sometimes you would get mad at me and cause a temper, but I never cried about it, not even once. What I did do was calm you down, and you did the same for me. Sometimes I would get angry, sad, mad, or moody, but you were the shoulder to cry on, the one pony I could really rely on and trust at any given moment. But what other people do to keep secrets, lies, and spread rumors about the other pony, but us? We were always so honest, I could tell you anything. And talking to you always made me feel better, like when my bunny died, or when my dog died, or whatever the situation was. You let me pour out my own soul, and you were the pitcher, or cup, and you would tell me, we're the only one who would heal my leak. So, teenage years. Well, they were pretty much the same, except involving more boys and more problems for their parents. If anything, we became closer during those years. Yeah, let's fast forward for a bit. Senior year prom. We both liked the same guy, and we were hoping he would ask us out to it, and then he did. He asked you, and you accepted. Other girls would have done something like sabotage or trickery or chaos, but me, I dealt with it, and I was happy for you. I, in fact, didn't mind so much, and in fact it helped me find my own soulmate. Oh, you'll read about it later, even though you know already. I don't know why I kept saying this. So for college, a miracle happened. We got into the same one, and we were roommates. It was the best of luck ever. I mean, how often does that happen? Like, never. We had the best time, and my cult friend had pretty much the same classes as me and you. It was a great time. Of course, we did go to parties, but we were all too goody two-shoes. No comment from you. And we went to them. A, after studying, and B, after getting homework done, and C, no alcohol. That stuff is gross anyway. And D, no staying later than 10 p.m. Of course, 12 on Friday night and 11 on Saturday night. We got our diplomas and moved next to Ponyville together. We bought our houses right next to each other, and so all I had to do to get to your house was a 10-second walk. We would always go to the cafe together, laughing and smiling and sipping drinks. My favorite one was the peppermint cinnamon mocha frappuccino. And they always put something, a bit of extra whipped cream just for me. You would get the hot fudge mocha cinnamon swirl coffee. I like to get muffins too. You and me, always had a strict rule. Only chocolate chip and peanut butter chips muffins were allowed. Derby tended to like the blubbery ones. Hard to resist her. And every pony loved us in Ponyville. We were always so nice, so people liked us. We would go to Derpy's, Colgate's or Lyra's or Bonbon's house, and we would get together and watch TV. Lyra insisted on trying to use that darned remote and play board games. We loved it together so much. We loved to get together, and it was nice to have a larger group to hang out with sometimes. Me and you always dominated at Monopoly too. Remember what I said about great minds thinking alike? I could basically read your mind, and you know what that means. We're like awesome at card games. And then things got more mature and awesome. I married my longtime cult friend, Shane. He was funny, smart, awesome, funny, great, friendly. Did I mention funny? Yeah, he was quite a comedian. He proposed, and you started the wedding immediately. You were my best mare, of course. And you, Pinkie Pie, Rarity, Twilight Sparkle, Rainbow Dash, and Fluttershy, along with Lyra, Bonbon, and Colgate and Derpy, of course. I had the better wedding than I ever dreamed I could have. I still remember the dress. It was white with the streaks in the train. And on the dress were light pink of my mane. Your wedding gift was a light blue cyan chest plate, like the Princess Celestia, or the other color from my mane, a dark blue gem in the middle. I wanted to protest because your friendship and planning the wedding was a gift greater than any items, but, of course, your stubbornness is quite powerful. And oh, Shane, had he a lovely black and white tux with a cyan tie. Of course, his hair can't be tamed, so it was all in usual style. I was glad anyway, because he looked wonderful. That was one of the happiest days of my life. It seemed unlikely and ironic, but your longtime cult friend proposed to you 4 months later, Shadow Dust. It was pretty much the same deal, but by this time, I know just how she felt when she was excited for me. I just wanted her happily ever after to be as great as mine, and so I did just that. I, of course, wanted the little filly, and that's just what happened. Shane moved in, and we set up a baby room, and I had a filly. Yes, before you. I got married first. I named her after some pony so special to me, some pony who has always been there for me. You. She turned out to be a little white filly with pink eyes, like my mane and light brown hair, like Shane's, and she was as cute as can be. I named her Sweet Tune, of course, as she was the kind of pony in town named Fluttershy. I hope she can sing as amazing as you. And oh, I forgot to mention, Shane is an earth pony, and Sweet Tune is an earth pony too. Not like you don't already know that, duh. And of course you and Shadow Dust lived across the street. By the time Sweet Tune was 1 year old, you announced you were pregnant too. I just knew you were going to be a great mother. You cared for Sweet Tune and played with her like she was your own daughter. And you loved her almost as much as I loved her. So I had no worries. Wait, why would I be in the first place? Looks like your little colt turned out to not as precious, but certainly a future wonderbolt, that's for sure. You named him after me, and as you thought it would make things even. Dust Kicker is a light grey colt with a dark blue, spiky mane and lime green eyes. It was amazing at how our children resembled us and our husbands' combinations. 3 years later, and the house seemed empty. I think you remembered what happened next, eh? Then happened blue days. My light blue Pegasus colt with a darker blue mane, and guess what? Aqua eyes. Your little filly was a yellow filly with a cyan mane and named Sunny Days, and we all lived happily ever after. No, not quite yet. After drama, catastrophes, and happy times, our children grew up. We never stopped visiting other friends, though. And the whole time, we were happy. We still went to the cafe, went to the park, and watched our children grow up. Dust Kicker grew up to be the co-leader of the Wonderbolts, and Sweet Tune, she grew up to be a famous singer. They were always so great childhood friends, and they grew up to be stars. And Blue Day's talent? Compassion, so he turned out to be a wonderful therapist. Oh no, I didn't forget Sunny Days, of course. She also became a therapist, and eventually married Blue Days. And I couldn't ask for anyone better than my little Blue. And before we knew it, grandchildren. How wonderful that was. And then retirement homes. And eventually, Shane and Shadow Dust died. Remember that? Yes. Sadly, yes. But we had each other. And wallowing in our grief was better when I was doing it with you. It was hard, but you were there, which made everything better. The pain went away eventually. You gave your shoulder to cry on, and I gave you mine to do the same. My life was growing short. I was dying of something else. I mean, you still had quite a few years left in you, and even though your husbands had died, some of our friends too. I was dying of cancer. I wish I could have spent more time with you, even though I think, is a whole lifetime enough? No, now that I think about it, a whole lifetime with you is not enough. I'm being greedy with this situation here, but I can't stand it when I'm not next to you, when it's just so painful I can't even begin to imagine. But I'll have to start imagining soon. But it is what it is. I needed the last memory of you, and you needed something from me that would stay with you until you joined me in the yonder. So I hatched a plan. I think you know what it is by now. I made a little box, and on the side I wrote, "Open when you're ready, Cloud Cicker." I wrote it with a Sharpie. I'm addicted to the way they smell. And then I wrote a story about our life together. Two best friends, two peas in a pod. It's the story I'm writing now. I'll be dead by the time you read this. I can't even begin to imagine what you must be feeling right now. Pain, grief, loss, regret? No, more along the lines of how much you will miss me. For I know that's what you're thinking right now. I mean, reading a letter from a dead true friend talking about our past life, reliving the memories of at your old age. I'm sorry, but all the things have come to an end. But the good always arises, a burst of sunlight rising out of the ashes of the falling darkness. And I'm next to you. I still am. I'm crying along with you. And I will be with you until you join me here, which will happen eventually. All you have to do is wait. But wait in peace. Live your life to the fullest while you still can, even at an old age. Don't cry over me. We'll meet soon. I swear from the bottom of my heart. And, Flame Tune, I love you. You were the greatest friend I could possibly ever have. I miss you up here. I miss your laugh. I miss your smile. I miss your sarcastic ways. I miss your caring voice and gentle gestures. I miss your light-hearted, corny jokes. I miss your beautiful lavender eyes and the way they seem to sparkle whenever you laugh or smile. And I miss your beautiful voice, which captivates me, puts me in a trance, and makes me remember all of my old memories, which I'm sharing with you right now. Hopefully the tear stains will have dispersed by the time you read this, but hopefully you can hold on to these memories. There are pictures at the bottom of the box for you, if you want to look at them. They're pictures from what I explained in this letter, and hopefully I refreshed your memory on the kind of friends will always be. The end.